Marianne and myself, and we are here just to have a casual conversation and really to chat about the fact that there are no rules. There are no rules. There are no rules. So, Marianne and I connected, I can't even remember how many years ago, maybe 2 years ago, and we've been in each other's spaces and worlds, but not really connected until Marianne joined I'm a Magnet. And in that way, we connected and became part of each other's worlds, let's call it that. And I was then exposed to the magic that Marianne brings into the world. And through the work that she does, through the woman that she is, and just through her being in her truth and in her power and in her integrity. And so I would absolutely love for you, Marianne, to tell us a little bit about you and what led you to where you are now, and what it is that you do, who it is that you be, and all the magical things.
Well, first of all, you magnetized me to you. And it was such a divine synchronicity. And like you say, what I love is we've been weaving in each other's spaces, but it wasn't until I'm a Magnet that I got to experience all of you as much as you saying you got to experience me. So what do I do? In a nutshell, I help women reclaim their power by remembering who they are, because it's always within us. We just need to remember what that is. And I really do believe you can live your life and you can fully be an embodied version of the queen that you are, the queen of your castle. And so what we often forget as spiritual beings is that we are human. So a lot of my work surrounds embodiment and womb wisdom and womb wellness, because that is such a sacred and spiritual part of who we are as human beings. But instead, what we normally do is we bypass it into spirituality instead of feeling all the feelings of being human, being who you are as a human being. So that was quite a deep journey for me. My journey, I would say, was held in sisterhood, where I was seen, heard, and felt. So everything I do, even the methodology I teach, is all about being seen, heard, and felt. And so what happened for me is I had postnatal depression and a big divide between, the relationship with my daughter, the relationship with my mom, so many different things. And the womb wisdom led me back to remember not only who I was, but to work through and heal what I needed to heal. And what came through at the end of that was the word embodiment. And so that was a word that I downloaded. And I've got an amazing story of how I got into embodiment, but often people speak about embodiment. What I speak about is somatic movement. And that led me to be what I call myself now as a somatic womb mage. So I use womb wisdom, womb wellness, which is often yoni steaming, and I use it in an energetic way. And then I bring in the movement because we are human. So what the movement does is it moves the energy, but it allows whatever we're calling in to be a part of us. So that, in a nutshell, is who I am and what I do and the journey I've been on.
And how long have you been in this space and working this magic?
So this particular magic has unfolded since the beginning of 2020, so it's fairly new. I played in the spiritual realm for a very long time, and then basically did a degree, an honors in psychology, and trauma, funny enough, was actually what I was facilitating before I entered into this space. And it all has built and become a part of what the space I hold and who I am. So every little piece came together at the right time, which still blows my mind and fascinates me.
It is incredible, the synchronicity of life.
Completely.
So as I was listening to you, because I actually haven't heard the full story yet, if you can believe it. But as I was listening to you, and I was just thinking, or just feeling, or just having that realization that for me on my journey, it was being invited into a sacred circle and having that sisterhood that was the like, and for me was the first time that I experienced alchemy and understood the word alchemy, because I mean, there's lots of people who talk about alchemy. I've read about alchemy. I've read about embodiment. You read about all these concepts of surrender and spiritual awakening, and then you go through something and you actually feel it. And well, for me, it was definitely also in the space of being in a circle and having that space of being witnessed without judgment.
It's massive.
It's huge. And I'm actually in Marianne's, one of her containers, which is called Lunar Queen. And I can say that your ability to hold space is very powerful. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not knocking the fact that you studied what you studied and it's all brought you to where you are now. But I believe that is just a part of who you are. Like you would have that skill.
Thank you for that reflection. And funny enough, that's the thing that lights me up more than anything. Like, I love the womb wisdom. I love the womb wellness. I love the embodiment. But for someone to share their deepest vulnerability and to hold them in that space, still for me, is the greatest privilege and biggest blessing. And I always say to Nikki, I could run sister circles all day long, because I get to witness that. And that for me, there is nothing like it. So that is something that brings me the greatest joy. And also for me, in this new paradigm, some people are still teetering on an old paradigm. And for me, in a new paradigm, it's a circle. It's not you, the mentor, and everyone is below you. It's we have from us, we can learn from our students, and our students can learn from us. And the energy created in a circle space is held so much more deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. And the power of an energetic container, whether it's in a circle or whether it's in a one-on-one space, I think that there is so much power when we are connecting in and we are setting that intention and creating the space for magic and the space for alchemy. And I'm talking about magic because I know you and I both, we love the feeling of and the idea of magic. Okay, but now share with me your journey through the I'm a Magnet program, because you have been doing this work for a while. And what has anything shifted? I mean, obviously, I witnessed the shift in I'm a Magnet, but there's also a sense of the fact that you were already very connected, when you came into the program.
So it's very interesting, the timing that I came into the program. The timing I came in was I had gone through a huge rebirthing process, and I was really finding myself being one of those people. And I've always said I'm not someone who looks at social media in a bad light, because I actually love the online space. But I was in a phase where I was not wanting to put anything out, or feeling like there was, because I had gone through this huge rebirth, I wanted to make a comeback in a way that reflected the energy of that rebirth. And if it wasn't going to hold that space, then I didn't want to be in the space. So I'm a Magnet started, and just, it sounds simple, but it's not. And this reflection came for me again yesterday, is that when you let spirit lead, you can surrender everything. Because in the coaching space, and as much as we love energy and spirituality and everything that comes along with it, it's like, okay, now, so you must do it this way. And if you don't do it this way, then you won't be successful. What I'm a Magnet did is it actually got me posting daily. I think in the longest time, I have never been a daily poster. That was like not for me at all. But there was so much coming up through the transmissions that you put in I'm a Magnet. Like, I wasn't exactly vomiting it out, but that's what it felt like. I had so much content, so many things I want to share.
Oh, it wasn't vomit. It was a beautiful waterfall. Let's reframe that.
That's what it also did, is it connected me back to my magic. Because remember, in the beginning, I was talking about the humanness. So then I got out of balance with that. So I became all about womb work, all about embodiments, all about womb wisdom, where actually I'm very mystical. So my magic came back, and the downloads were bigger and greater, and the visualizations that were coming through. And I was implementing that within a business setup. But what Nikki does is amazing. You see your business as something completely separate from you. I needed that. I love what I do so much that I promise you I would work myself to death. Because I love the people, I love what I do. But this went, okay, well, here is your business as a vehicle. Yes, you do want to help the world. Yes, you do want to create something new. But it's a vehicle to do that. You are not the person having to do that all the time. So there was and everything that came through I'm a Magnet, I was able to implement. I can promise you I've been on a lot, I've spent a lot of money on business setup and strategy and all the rest of it. And what I always came back with was, that doesn't feel aligned. But because Nikki guides you in a way where you tap in, and whatever comes through, you put out there, it's within your energy, it's aligned to who you are. And then you're also able to like be the observer and come back and see where your gaps are from your own point of view, not from someone else telling you where those gaps are. So then from seeing that, I was able to weave in between, okay, well, I need to fill in this over here. And it wasn't, the greatest thing about this is it wasn't in a masculine way. It was in a feminine way. And I'm all about the feminine. Yet the tasks that Nikki says you do become the masculine. So you're getting something out there, but from the flow and the downloads and the intuition that you have. And I'm a firm believer that's what makes you a magnet. And I mean, it's living proof. Like I was more into group programs. Now my one-on-one spots are full. So it's a case of tapping in, being led by spirit and trusting that. And it actually, through I'm a Magnet, got to the point where you're going to love this. There are no rules. I'm like, I'm not having a one-on-one call with people. I trust so much that I have called in the right people, that they will be a fit. Who am I to say you for this or you're not for this? If they were fully called in by my energy, that I trust my guides, that they will walk through my gates into my space because they're meant to be there. I don't need to sit and have a one-on-one call unless they have a question.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. There are no rules. There are no rules. There are no rules.
And your biggest thing, let spirit lead. Don't come from your mind. Come from, allow spirit. Like, who are you to say spirit is wrong? Like, this is what I love. So when it's right, you're not up here, you're letting it flow, you're letting it lead. And when you truly trust and surrender, you cannot make a mistake.
And I think that I love the fact that you brought in the masculine, because I think a lot of people who may be listening to this, and I know, like for me, for a long time, and I have to keep reminding myself as well that because we're running a business, we can fall back into that. Okay, well, I'm running a business, therefore I need to be practical. I need to be responsible. I need to, follow this blueprint or template or do this thing, even though it feels really not aligned, because I'm running a business and I can't just flow in the feminine. And I think sometimes when people hear that, they think it's a case of, I'm just gonna lie back and I'm just gonna be in my flow, and whatever's gonna come is gonna come, and here I am, la 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 la. But it's actually not that. It's actually just dropping in. And I think so many of us forget to do that. Simply dropping in, and it doesn't need to be this massive process. It's just a case of taking the time to slow down, to connect into the spirit of you, God, the universe, source, your soul's intelligence, whatever you choose to call it. And then to feel into, okay, where am I going today? Where am I being led today? That is a spirit-led, a soul-led business. And I can say for myself, desiring to run a soul-led business for probably the last 10 years, I've only really been running it like in true, an actual soul-led business for the last 2 years. And it's a massive difference. We desire to be running a soul-led business, but if we're not actually tapping in and allowing that spirit, that magic, that genius to flow through us, it's just night and day. But I'm sidetracking here. The point I wanted to make is that it actually allows you to create systems and structures. There is the grounding, there is the masculine. It just is coming from a different place, in a sense. It's coming through you. I know you know what I'm trying to say.
I do, but because the flow, like you're saying, because the flow is already there, your creativity is there, you're being led by spirit, you're being shown what to do. So what I'm in the process of now is, if my energy is so beautiful and it's flowing like this, I want it to be easy. So the last couple of days I've taken Nikki through the ringer on how to make my circles like a lot easier in terms of booking. Because if there's all this beautiful flow, I want the same flow. And that's just a little bit more masculine. So it filters into your business without you having to go, okay, now I'm going to do this thing. And it got to the point where I would think in funnels. Now I go, what am I feeling? Well, I'm feeling like people really need space to see their shadows in a dark moon, and not everyone has enough abundance in order to do all the other things I'm offering. So now I need to make an easy way for them to access that. And Nikki always reminds you, like, why are you doing that? So you do it, it's from spirit, then you don't need to question yourself on why you're doing it. But so often we think, this is the offer, this is great, we create this. Okay, now we do this and it'll link to this and link to this, instead of allowing the energy to lead.
And we think we have to do this and we have to do this and we have to do that. And I mean, that was massive for me in my own journey. And it's also, again, something that I'm constantly having to remind myself of is, And as you know, I closed down my membership. I closed down Instagram. Well, I haven't been on that Instagram account for a long time. Closed down my TikTok. But it was interesting with me with Instagram because I've been on there for a while. And when I made the decision to not be on Instagram or to close down and open a brand new account, when I made that decision, it became so clear to me that the only reason why I was on Instagram, even though I love Instagram, is because I thought I had to be there.
Yeah.
And the moment that I had that realization, I was like, I don't have to be there. I don't have to be anywhere. And if you're listening to this, you can take a moment right now just to drop in and imagine that you have this beautiful open landscape or a blank canvas or beautiful garden that you get to plant what it is that you want to plant. And if you really are not aligned with social media, don't need to be on social media. You don't need to be on social media. We really think we need to do something because that is what the industry dictates, or maybe not dictates, maybe that's too strong. But the way I see it is, if you look in the online world of running an online business, there are just certain rules, systems, structures. And even if you understand conceptually, okay, I get to choose, sometimes we still don't realize how sucked in we are. It is so powerful when we release all of that. And then we say, okay, well, what actually do I want? How do I want to show up in my business? How do I want to be? How do I want to create? And when you drop all of that, it is just, I mean, I know you know this because you've experienced it, but it is so freeing. And I've witnessed that I've witnessed you go through that.
Yeah, totally. And like an example is, right, the avatar, that avatar exercise out of every business coach I was ever with, I was like, that exercise used to irritate the hell out of me. I could never nail my avatar, never. And in I'm a Magnet, you start calling in these souls and you feel them and you see them light up and you see yourself connecting with them. And you feel them pulling in. And one thing you said to me, I'll never forget, you said, right, when you doing your posting, feel those people, write to them. And all of a sudden, the way I was writing something changed completely because I was feeling those people. I was calling them in. And the energetics of that are so different.
Yeah. Beautiful. So tell me what is happening in your business now, and what are you creating? What magic is it that you can invite people into so that they can experience a bit of Mary-Ann magic?
What's brewing in my cauldron?
Yes, what's brewing in your cauldron, exactly.
So currently what is brewing in my cauldron is I've relaunched something called Womb With Me 4.0. It's a program I've run numerous times, but what I'm doing is putting a lot more embodiments in. I am someone who likes to go deep. If deep programs are not your jam, it's definitely not for you. It's a 9-month, it's a 9-month program, and it's based on pillars that, for me, when moving through the womb, and I use the word movement because if we can't connect to our body, then we can't feel our womb space. If we can't connect to our body and understand how the energy works and how we can connect to our energy, then again, you're never going to light up this space. And so it's a 9-month program that takes you through everything, and it's based on being seen, heard, felt, touched, tasted, and you come out the other side. And what the women often say to me is, this work should be for everybody. And they come out as these beautiful, empowered women. And they came in as amazing people with magic, with all the things. And often they've been doing different types of facilitation for a long time. And one of my women said to me yesterday, working with this work is like putting a cherry on the top. It's realizing that it's all within you, that you are the medicine. So it's a beautiful process that you start to uncover what's in your womb space and where you need healing, but also understanding that we are human beings, and we begin moving our emotions and who we are within us. And then I call something the womb medicine process, is then you take yourself through that womb medicine process and begin healing different parts of yourself. Some people sit with fibroids, some people sit with shame, irregular cycles, the list goes on. And we work with all these manifestations of this wounding to help you heal energetically, emotionally, and then obviously that then has a physical impact. So I've opened the enrollment and I'm running a series, and that is what that magic is about.
And so where can people find this magic? No.
You can just reach out and you can DM me on my Instagram and Facebook. There's a link tree. Just go on the link tree and it says Womb With Me 4.0, and you can see everything that's offered in the program, from the modules to, if you think it's a good fit, the whole katoot is on there. And if it's for you, you just DM me and say, Marianne, I'd love to join. What I am doing is I'm raising the pricing because I'm running a Womb With Me series. So if you can, reach out sooner rather than later so you can bag the special pricing.
Awesome. Yay. Yay us. Thank you. I think we are complete.
I just have one thing to say, you know me. We are complete. But Marianne, I think to say, what I do want to say is you have probably, if you're watching this, already spent thousands of dollars on business programs like I did. This gives you, I'm a Magnet gives you Nikki's magic, which helps you tap into your own magic, which helps you put it out there in the world. Literally, I'm a Magnet is everything from releasing your own, it's going to be live, so I won't swear.
You can. You can swear, it's fine.
Then claiming that once you've released it, and then literally it's a step-by-step process. Finding your clients, your offers, your gifts. It's like everything that your soul needs to blot out there is all in this program. So I don't honestly believe if I hadn't done it that my business would have the flow and the momentum it does now. So thank you, Nikki, for your magic.
It's a pleasure. And I will share that the I'm a Magnet program literally just, it was one of those things that dropped in. And this is what I teach in I'm a Magnet as well, is if you have an idea and it drops in, what often happens is we then go into our heads and then we overcomplicate it, because now we think we need this and this and this and this and all the things. And with I'm a Magnet, I remember just creating a very basic, in fact, I don't even think I had a landing page in the beginning. I think I did what I'm doing with the co-creation mode that I'm running next week.
I remember this.
I don't have a landing page yet, but if you want to join, just let me know. And it just flowed. And the content for I'm a Magnet also just flowed as I knew it would, as I was running through the process. There was one week the week before, where I was like, okay, I'm going to record 10 videos and get them up and get them ready. But I couldn't, because I needed to just be in the energy of the process and almost move through it with everybody. And it is one of the most special programs that I've run, and I'm going to be running it again. I haven't really decided when and how. I think I'm going to change it up to a 3-month group program as opposed to a 21-day journey. So stay tuned. And at the moment, you can do it as a self-study 21-day program. But and that is beautiful in of its own. And I think there's certain people that it's perfect for. But I think there is so much power in doing it as a group and together. And in the first round that we were in together with I'm a Magnet, there was just so much. I mean, the community of women blew me away.
It blew me, but those same women that I'm watching now, who had been through I Am a Magnet, are flying. So you want to get in. If you can't wait, sign up for the 21 days now. If you can wait for Nikki, then wait.
No, it's not going to be long. It's not going to be long because I'd like to do it this year, and it's 3 months and it's September, so I need to run it soon.
You do.
No rules.
Don't be so selfish.
A desire to. Okay, enough chatting. Thank you so much. You've gone all blurry. I'm waiting.
I know.
Into focus. I will keep. Come back. Come back. No. Okay. We will say goodbye to a blurry Mary-Ann. Thank you. It's such a joy to be connected with you. And I'm sure this won't be our last chat. Cheers.